We are live. I am making sure that everything is working well. So, how are you guys doing? And God knows am I going live or not. So, this is a main part. Yep, I'm live, I guess. So, how are you guys doing? Um, yeah, it's kind of unannounced always, but I'm always trying to get this live thing going. Yeah. So I'm just gonna make this video kind of short because it's pretty upsetting. We thought China was over this COVID-19 thing, but now, as you're probably aware, that the Delta variant is hitting around the world, and China is hit pretty bad, and especially in the Guangdong province. So, if you didn't know, the Guangdong province is the southern part of China, which has been hit pretty bad, and it's pretty like much like Wuhan. So, everything was locked up. People weren't allowed to travel freely, and I mean, you are allowed some places you are allowed to go freely, but the sad thing is, if you go freely, um, you have to use your QR code. So it's kind of difficult. Okay, let me explain this to you. There's a QR code, and you have to any places you go, including the subway, transport, restaurants, anywhere you go out of your door, you have to scan these QR codes of your health status. And now it's mandatory for everybody to get a COVID test every day. My friend is working in Shenzhen, and this week or last week, she already had 8 COVID tests. So if you don't have this COVID test and your QR code won't show, and you weren't allowed to go at all. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, once you get this COVID test, you're okay, and you wouldn't want to go anywhere, even though you can, because when you scan one area that you go to, um, what happens is if somebody had COVID or had the Delta variant, you're pretty much screwed. So they would have a record of you and your QR code. Green is for green light, obviously, and it will go red. And when you go red, you have to go to a government facility to go lock down, and they will contact you real quick. So people trying to avoid going anywhere nowadays, they just do the COVID test and go to work. And these past weeks, it's the variant has started 2 weeks already. The lockdown, and now it's easing a little bit. But anyways, I'm gonna show you, run down some clips that I collected, and so show you how the situation is, because it's pretty like pretty much like Wuhan. Hey Jess, how are you doing? Yeah, the yellow and red. So usually green is good. Thank you for joining me, Jess. This announced again, and I'm trying to play around with this thing. So please excuse me if this thing screws up. Okay, guys. Yeah. So basically, you are pretty much done. Hi, Tran. Welcome to my. Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, thank you. Welcome to my channel. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I need more subscribers and likes. That would be awesome. And so it seems that you are free, but when you scan your phone, and it'll be red, and then yeah, you'll be done. you'll be they'll catch up to you real quick. So people just basically just go straight to work and go back home directly. So just to avoid anything happens, and if they discovered a variant at one area, like in a gated community, the whole gated community will be under lockdown. So you can't even go to work. And later on, you'll see some videos on these. And even truck drivers and all that, they are not allowed to leave their vehicles, which is really bad. And basically, I love electronics. I just can't wait to go back to Huaqingbei. But my friend told me now sometimes they rather not go to work to Huaqingbei to open the store because lining up for this COVID test is pretty brutal. Especially 2 weeks ago, everybody had to go to get this thing or it would be totally illegal. But lineups would range from at the beginning. Lineups would begin from 6 to 8 hours a line, and now it's the monsoon season, so it's not going to be. It's always raining here, especially in southern China or Southeast Asia. It's the raining season, so that's pretty bad. Third chapter. Welcome aboard. Yeah, it's true. They don't care you got the vaccine or anything like that. You still have to do this test, and it's mandatory. Okay, so let's not waste time, and hope you guys, my other subscribers, can join me later on, and they can replay this video and see me. But for me now, this is just a new experiment for me. So I'll try to play the video now. Yeah, and I'm gonna let me see how to do this. I've been learning and I'm trying to improve on my videos. So let's shrink myself here, and I'll play this clip here, and I have to remove my background step by step, and let's go play this clip. Okay, so here I'm a little bit small anyways. So this, you can probably hear the audio now. It's telling people on the megaphone, it's okay, there's no lineup. Everybody must come down from the village to get your COVID test. So this is the same thing. Yeah, come on guys, don't worry, there's no lineup. And this is megaphones they hold up and they tell everybody, and they hold a big gong too to tell the citizens, come down, dude, see the gong there? Yeah, come on down, no lineup at all, gong, 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 and these people would just run around the whole city, so every city. And these guys are the gated community, and you see all these those what are the blue thing, the shelter there. That's where you get your COVID test. And look at all these buildings. Nobody suddenly they wake up, and the next thing they know, they're locked in their own community. They're not allowed to go out, and so everybody in there is contained. So there's not much you can do there, which is kind of sucky. And they just say, hey, screw it, we're having a beer, cheers everybody. Just get drunk at home. And it's really bad because they can't go out. Suddenly the news hit them, and they're not really informed real quick that what's going on, which is really bad. And yeah, I think just have a party and relax, because this COVID thing can be really depressing. And this is the freeways in the Guangdong province. They just suddenly shut it down, and all these the entryways to the freeway all has been just locked suddenly. See the big no stop sign here? See the freeways all locked down, police cars locked down, and it's not announced in a way. So people would just drive up there and suddenly, oh, it's what's a traffic jam, and they know they're screwed, and it's all locked down. Everybody has to be turned away. Look, all the police here. And actually China, they've been doing this really strict. And people who can get out then they will just go to the supermarket and just go crazy. Look at this truck guy. Feel sorry. See, they stick. They say you're not allowed to open your window, not allowed to leave your truck. So he's pretty stuck because they don't know would he get it or give to other people. So like there's an official sign. You don't break that seal of the door. Look at the roads here. There's domestic roads in the suburbs, all emptied out. So suddenly everybody would find they're not going anywhere because they can't even leave their own home, right? And a few days later, they start to arrange, tell people, oh, there's no lineup, as you saw before the video. Yeah, and then here we go. There's another supermarket, everybody lining up, clearing the shelves and everything like that. And by the way, I mean, in North America, other countries, you be compensated or some arrangement will be help. But in China, it's usually the you know street wise, street smart. So anything happens there, first thing they just hit the supermarkets because they have no food. They're scared they have no foods. So everybody, just getting in line, getting everything, prepared because you never know what's this lockdown. Okay, so this is Huaqingbei. So Huaqingbei, you can see the stores not open because everybody just lines up to go for the COVID test. So this is what they do every day. They told me every day is just this lining up, and it's about 100 degrees out there, 90 degrees, 90% humidity. I feel sorry for these guys because some families they have to line up 4 in the morning, which is and they'll get their test around noon time, so they'll be probably waiting for so many hours under this scorching heat. Because if you don't, that's illegal if you don't get this COVID test. Yeah, so it's really bad. Apologize, guys, if I can't read the comments right now, but I wanted to show you all these videos and what's happening with. And here, yes, here. You remember the gong? No, line up, guys. Come on out. Have a COVID test. And this is what happens when you do your COVID test. Look, you're pretty much screwed. But everyone agree. They'll just cooperate because it's everybody wants to be safe, and they agree to line up. But it's just really tough. You can see, and yeah, as I said, it's a monsoon season. Look at all these stalls. They have been blown away, and people lining up, and they lost their lines. See, these are in other centers here to get COVID tested. Yep, it's the hospital. No, actually the malls. They emptied the malls. This is the businesses, but they all shut down, and they just did a COVID testing center here. So I hate to be waiting in line, look, rushing. Everybody's going to get this thing, and you have to do this daily, by the way, or your scan thing will change to red, and you'll be pretty much grounded yourself. So everybody here, you can see some people taking videos. Look, these are the malls. Okay, these are the malls, but I don't think they're shopping anytime soon. But everybody is just rushing, rushing, rushing to do their thing. So it's really sad. Oh dear, I just feel sad for these guys because it's just really bad for them. They have to wait. Look at the lines, man. It's just really bad, and I feel sorry, truly sorry for them. They're but they agree. Even my relatives in Guangdong, and this is the subway. Look at the subway. Total, it just runs empty. The whole thing, seriously, run empty. As I said, you don't want to go to a place that suddenly changed red because you'll be in a government facility, locked down. So, which is, I don't think it'll be good for you, for anybody. So basically, yep, here's the video. I just wanted to share and give you a visual that what's going on. Okay, let's transition back here. Yeah, I'm kind of looking. Hope my video is okay, guys. So you know, so this is basically what's happening to everybody. Hi, Tyrone Draper from Canada. Yeah, Canada. Heat wave on the west coast. It's really bad. Dark radius. Excuse me if I can't pronounce this. Oh, it's okay, man. Welcome to my channel again. I always try to do videos, but sometimes just it's just this COVID thing. It's just and the heat wave and everything. It's just when you see people suffering in a big fire. It knocked out 90% of the people, the houses. The city Merritt, I think it's there somewhere in Canada, BC, burned down, and a lot of native people are there got affected. Joe S03, hello, welcome. Yeah, I'm just saying hi to you guys. Joshua, how are you? Uh, There's no choice, Joshua. I'm answering a question about the QR code thing. You have no choice, actually. Basically, if you're in China, even in Hong Kong nowadays, they're having these stupid lucky draws. Oh, if you did your COVID test for first shot, you can go to a lucky draw. Can win how many? You get a cheap apartment. You can if you have how many shots, you can have a party. Stuff like that. Oh, and you have like couple hundred, $500 US lucky money or something if you do these things. So basically, it's really bad. This Excuse my computer. The line is really bad. Uh, yeah, hello, Joes. Welcome aboard. Yeah, this video is just not too good. Not a good reception. Sorry about that. Do apologize for the bad reception. But anyway, this is now Guangdong province is slowly getting better, and they informed me next week they're gonna like not gonna be as strict, so you can move a little bit more freely because everything's under control. But in Hong Kong, just the news happened yesterday that an Indonesian nanny, a maid, came to Hong Kong from Indonesia, but I think on the 19th day, because in Hong Kong it's the longest quarantine place in the world, 21 days in a hotel room. So she on the 19th day she got detected having the variant, and she was sent off to a hospital right away, and she has to do treatment, and she's gonna be in for quite a while. But the sad thing is, they have teams of people in the hotel trying to disinfect her room. But the thing is, they didn't use enough bleach or chemicals, and they left some virus behind because the Delta variant is like 8 times more deadly. Yeah, 8 times more deadly. So it's really bad. But one of my patrons were talking to me. Um, Hi, Candy Graham. Welcome aboard. Thank you for joining me. And you guys hit a like. I appreciate it. Yeah, and so we're talking about Hong Kong. So just today, the news is from Hong Kong University. A professor came out and saying one of the reasons why a worker, the cleaners, there's specialized cleaning team that deals with the people who check out after the 21 quarantine days. But this Indonesian maid that came had the virus on the 19th, and what happened is they didn't use enough chemicals to clean the virus because this virus is so active, 8 times more contagious. Okay, so they have to use more concentrated bleach, and they have to like wait at least 5 minutes or something like that for the thing to kill off before you rinse it down, and even the curtains, carpet, the beds, and everything. So it's pretty much like a hazmat area. Yeah, and so the nanny got uh, yeah, that's why everybody's really uptight about this variant. This is sad. Yeah, so the the cleaning team, one of the ladies, she works like this contractor company, hazmat team. They go to many hotels. So the thing is, now everybody's worried because Hong Kong has zero local cases for like almost a couple weeks now. So Hong Kong's been doing really well to fight this or prevent the virus from coming in Hong Kong. Uh, so now they are very, very scared that this worker, contractor lady, has got the variant. So obviously she'll be in the government center getting treatment, so in a hospital. So we hope in these few days we won't hear anybody getting the variant from Hong Kong. So this is the case. And by the way, the variant, uh, the news said the variant came from India. So in Hong Kong, when they had the first variant, the Indian guy, he quarantined for 21 days. But after 21 days, somehow the virus came out of, and it was contagious. So that was really bad. And it was a similar situation in Guangdong province, the southern part of China. So hopefully we can be more free, because in Hong Kong, people now, as you can see, the political scene is not good. uh, a lot of Hong Kong people, a lot of people are not political, but they just want to live back to normal life and prosperity of the city, right? And the protests and all that, and plus 100 years, the CCP just celebrated, and the July 1st was the official handover from Britain back to mainland China. So it's a day people celebrate and protest. But this year, the government said due to the COVID, they didn't allow, they don't allow the protests or people gathering. Even now, if you go out in public, and they can charge you like $500 each for breaking the quarantine rules. So they don't want people gathering, in masses still in Hong Kong. And hopefully, I I heard rumors, because Hong Kong is a really really small place like Singapore, so they're gonna relax the border from Hong Kong to Macau, because since a year and a half, you know, we can't go to Macau or mainland China, and it's you have to quarantine there. Or you can't even go to Macau, I think. But if you go to mainland China, you have to quarantine for 2 weeks in the government appointed hotel. You have to pay everything. And even in Hong Kong, 21 days. A cheap hotel now is around uh, easily 5,000 US. That you have to stay in this room for $5,000 US. But now, unfortunately, summer holidays and a lot of overseas students are coming back to Hong Kong, so they are fighting for all the rooms. So everything is pretty much booked up, because you can't just stay in any hotel to quarantine. Plus, the 1st of July, Hong Kong has banned all the flights coming in from UK, and a lot of people, the students, been rushing to trying to get back, and they've been paying like maybe $5,000-6,000 US just for a one-way ticket, just to rush back before the 1st of July. And it's bad, because those flights coming in these few days, they caught a guy, tested a guy with the variant from UK. So that was unfortunate. So anyway, I promise to keep this video short, but this is generally what is happening in Hong Kong and Guangdong province. So that's the southern part of China. So hopefully now, like I saw some comments saying that, oh, do you like the vaccine or not? Unless you don't want to travel, you probably don't. And Phuket, anybody been to Thailand, Phuket? They said if you get 2 shots of the vaccine, you can go to Phuket for without quarantining. So if you go to Phuket for vacation after the 2 weeks, you're allowed to go anywhere else in Bangkok or Thailand. You can go anywhere in Thailand. So that was it's up to you if you want this vaccine. And they said in before early July, if you have the vaccine, probably you can travel freely to Macau without a quarantining in the room or whatever. But China, still there's no news what's going on. You still need quarantine for 2 weeks. And the sad thing is, uh, yeah, some of my friends, they're contractors in Hong Kong. They haven't. They told me, swearing, cussing, and being sad and depressed, because in Hong Kong, lots of Hong Kong men, go to mainland China to look for a wifey. So he has a wifey and 2 kids, and he hasn't been back to see them for over 1 year and a half, because he's working every day in Hong Kong. So if he goes there for 2 weeks quarantine, he can't afford it. And I asked, I didn't get the wife and kids to come down, but Hong Kong is such a expensive place to stay and to live. It's not feasible for them. It's Hong Kong is just like New York City, and Hong Kong real estate costs more than New York City, and yeah, it can be pretty brutal if you don't have enough cash to survive in Hong Kong. So, a lot of mainlanders' wife having they can't see the husband, in Hong Kong because in Hong Kong obviously they have to work. So this is another thing there. It's sad to see families separated, from mainland China. It's so close. It's just like a used to be a 40 minute bus ride, and you in Shenzhen, and you can take those bullet trains. All over China, the big network, and there the bullet train comes here too to Hong Kong, and it takes I think less than 20 minutes, no 15 minutes to get to mainland Shenzhen by bullet train, and that's it too. Yeah, they said, but they Candy, I'm answering a question banned from UK and even Hong Kong. They said if you go from Dubai to UK, any place that you pass UK or you've been to UK a record within the 2 weeks, you can't come to Hong Kong. So they'll check your passport or whatever like that because it's pretty strict here. Hong Kong is, I mean, they have a good record, but in order to have a good record, they're really strict on this quarantining thing. Anyways, thank you very much. I hope you enjoy those little clips I collected throughout the weeks, and that's a pretty good rundown on what's China, southern China is going through. And I just hope China would, southern China would be better, and my family, the friends and cousins up there can travel freely, which would be awesome. So thank you very much for watching. Check out my social media, Facebook, Instagram, and I also have a Patreon page. You can go there and check it out, or you can always send me messages on Patreon because I do answer, every comments and messages. So thank you very much for joining me, and it's just so awesome to see you guys. Bye bye, guys. Take care and have an awesome weekend.